to this very carefully. This may be the most important video I have ever posted. I'm serious about that. I'm actually in a hotel in Melbourne, Australia. This was so important, I wanted to record it even before I got back home to California. If you're experiencing tremendous pressure, stress, it could be financial, you don't have enough money, things aren't working out for you in your life, listen very carefully. This is what they should have taught us in elementary school, junior high, high school. This is what our parents should have taught us. I don't know your background, but I didn't grow up with a perfect background. I didn't grow up with, I was born to a single mom. My dad was in prison, lived my teenage years, a lot of them in a mobile home. And so what I'm about to tell you is like literally what I've spent my life up to this point learning from 5 millionaire mentors, learning from traveling the world, building businesses, learning from talking, a lot of it through social media with millions of people and interacting with this world about health, wealth, love, and happiness. Look, if you do not have a roadmap to success, I can pretty much predict your future. People always come to me, Ty, I want to be successful. I'm like, answer a few questions, I'm going to predict your future. Who'd you learn from? Who are you learning from now? Tell me about your upbringing. Those 3 basic questions, I can predict the future. People don't like to hear that because they're like, no, I'm special, Ty, I'm special. Man, once you step out the door, like Chris Rock, the comedian, says, once you step out the door of your house, nobody cares about you. There's a big, bad world out there. If you're broke, nobody's going to put money in your bank account for you. Maybe you win a lottery, you be one of the billion. Are you going to hold out for that? No, I'm going to give you a formula. I'm going to give you what I call the 12 foundations. There's 12 things they should have taught us in school. 12 things. 0 was taught in school. Literally 0. 3 things about health, 3 things about 3 things about love, and 3 things about happiness. These 12 things, if I had known them when I was 19 years old, graduated high school, my life would be 10 times better than it is now. And I have an okay life now. If you're struggling, you must learn these 12 foundations. You must. It's not even optional. It's basically like, here's your 2 paths in life. Life can suck, or you can follow the 12 foundations. Now, some people go, oh, well, there's people succeeding in life, and do they know about these 12 foundations? Well, they're doing them without knowing it. Everybody who follows the foundations has a badass life. All the 12 that don't. It's the people that don't follow, don't. It's literally, why can I say that black and white? Well, and how do I know it's exactly 12? Well, maybe it's 16, maybe it's 8. The point is, you ever heard of the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People? About the 7 habits of highly successful people, but life not only about business and making money. You got to know how to read people. You have to know psychology. You have to health, right? You have to know happiness, anxiety, procrastination. That's why it's more than 7. So I compile it down into 12 things. Let me go over some of them. I don't know how to do all 12. To really explain all 12 takes a little while. Probably take at least 12 hours. I don't have that much time right now, and you probably don't either. Let's start with money. So basically, one of the foundations is you have to know how to pick your career, period. Now, for some of you, your career, like me, is to be an entrepreneur, run your own business. Some of you, it's to work for somebody else. That doesn't even matter at this point in the juncture. One of the 12 foundations, maybe the most fundamental foundation, is selecting your occupation. You will spend the majority of your life in some sort of occupation. Okay? If you work 8 hours a day, no other single activity, not marriage, not time with your kids, time with your friends, watching football, whatever. Nothing compares with career, and there's basically 0 preparation. So people just grow up and they're like, oh, my dad worked for the post office, I'll do that. Or they stumble into a job. Oh, I need money, so I'm gonna drive Uber, and then this, and they just like kind of randomly go from thing to thing. Even entrepreneurs, I see, even entrepreneurs making big money, they don't like what they do because they just randomly looks like that'll make me money. My friend sells clothes online, I'll sell clothes online. I don't really care about clothes, I'll do it to make money. That's the wrong way to do it. There's an exact formula, okay? And it's basically like you can draw concentric circles, and you have to find where all these intersect. Strengths, your background, you can use some cognitive quizzes and things like this, and you can use, but let me just go back to that thing about strengths. See, people get very delusional about what their strengths are. Like, oh, Ty, I'm good at everything, so I don't know what career I should do. It's not what you think you're strong at. It's relative to other people. So I'm good at basketball compared to somebody who's worse than me, but relative to pro basketball players, I'm not good enough to play. And so one of the things they should have taught us in school, and one of the 12 foundations that I learned over many years, because I started different businesses. My first business was in agriculture, grass-fed beef, first business. I had a consulting business. I owned nightclubs all around North Carolina. I invested in real estate, still do, real estate investor. I started a wealth management company that's still going, 6,000 clients, manage money for individuals. I did obviously a lot of internet stuff and social media. I own a company called MentorBox, which we just signed a contract with Walmart. We have the largest nonfiction book shipping company in the world. So I've done all these businesses. And yet, in hindsight, I could have gotten to where I am 10 times faster if someone had 12 foundations. So I just want to tell you the good news and the bad news. The good news is if you're under tremendous pressure, stuff seems to not be working out for you. The good news is there's light at the end of the tunnel if you go down the right tunnel. There is a solution. There is a better day for you. I've seen it. I've been broke, and then all of a sudden I made $1 million in a day. I made $1 million in an hour before, and I've been completely broke, sleeping on a mobile home. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I can tell you there's light at the end of the tunnel. But when you go down the wrong tunnel, which is what most people are being led down in this modern world, it's only darkness there. People go, oh, things will get better. If you go down the wrong tunnel, there's no light. So I gotta get and this is the reason I'm recording this is I get about 10,000 snaps, Instagram DMs, all that per day. And I see, man, that people are hurting. Twitter. I posted a Twitter. It's like controversial. If you're not traveling 4 times a year, you're missing out on one of life's greatest pleasures. And people are like, but Ty, we're broke. We can't even travel once in 10 years. So I feel the pain of. Listen to this very carefully. This may be the most important video I've ever posted. I'm serious about that. I'm here actually in a hotel in Melbourne, Australia. This was so important I wanted to record it even before I got back home to California. If you're experiencing tremendous pressure, stress, it could be financial, you don't have enough money, things aren't working out for you in your life, listen very carefully. This is what they should have taught us in elementary school, junior high, high school. This is what our parents should have taught us. I don't know your background, but I didn't grow up with a perfect background. I didn't grow up with, I was born to a single mom. My dad was in prison, lived my teenage years, a lot of them in a mobile home. And so what I'm about to tell you is like literally what I've spent my life up to this point learning from 5 million mentors, learning from traveling the world, building businesses, learning from talking, a lot of it through social media with millions of people and interacting with this world about health, wealth, love, and happiness. Look, if you do not have a roadmap to success, I can pretty much predict your future. People always come to me, oh, Ty, I want to be successful. I'm like, answer a few questions, I'm going to predict your future. Who'd you learn from? Who are you learning from now? About your upbringing? Those 3 basic questions, I can predict the future. People don't like to hear that because they're like, no, I'm special, Ty, I'm special. Man, once